Hi, I'm Mike, and you're watching Spiritual Combat, and the title of today's show is Balance of Power in Relationships. And what I'm going to be talking about is a different type of power setups I've seen in relationships and how to overcome them, um, and why they're like that sometimes. Um, so some of the power imbalances I've seen are uh, the main one, of course, that I early on I saw was the woman having all the power. That's the main one you see in this society. You also see the man having too much power. You see that. Sometimes you see both people having too much power, and that's an ugly one because that ends pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? And disastrously. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then different combinations of them. But the first one is what we're going to talk about is when the woman has too much power, and you see that all over in society. And what it comes from is, the brainwashing of this society. From the TV shows to family members to schools. And when I say schools, I'm talking about a lot of these women, by the time they get through college, they told them you an independent woman and this, that, and the other. And they've slowly brainwashing them and the men are bad and this, that, and the other. Couple that in with what the media is telling them and their experience with men as young women. I always bring up that one out of uh, every two women, so half of our black women have been raped or molested by the time they are 20. You know, that's a big one. Um, and that's part of, I'm going to get off, sidetrack a little bit, but that is where I have understanding at, because I used to get frustrated with our sisters, but then you can't be ignorant. You need to understand the whole situation and why, what got them there, why are they like that, what's the history. And once you understand all that, you'll have mercy, you'll be understanding and forgiving when you run into problems with our sisters. You know what I'm saying? um Same thing with the men. A lot of men are soft. Their spirits have been broken by single family homes raised by women. They a lot of our men didn't have a masculine model to show them what being a man truly is. I mean, here I am, 41 now, and I can say I've come into true manhood within maybe the past 5 or 6 years. Doing conscious, focus, aware search for that. Purposely searching to come into true masculinity, and it's just been a search. And for the first 26, 28 years of my life, I didn't even know what I was searching for. You know what I'm saying? But and like I said, and that search ended. Turns out I was searching for my father. The author of this book right here. That is what I was searching for. And not only does he turn you into a true man, he turns you into a true man of Yah. So, but and same thing. That's what our women are searching for too, and we'll get into all that. But so yeah, but all that stuff contributes to these power imbalances. Men not knowing, how to be men, and whether it's a man is weak and he doesn't stand up to his woman, or another form of that weakness is overpowering and being a macho boy and making her do, what I'm saying, making her do everything that you want. And there's a balance to the power. The man has the power, but he has to use it with wisdom. Um, and when a woman has all the power and a woman's ruling over the man, she, for her to, and if she comes into the knowledge of the truth, this this is one of the hard things to let go of letting go. When a woman has the power, letting go of that power and how to do it, and how, well, if I don't make him do it, how is he gonna do it? And that's when truly praying, fasting, and seeking the Lord for real, and just letting go of the power and let letting y'all deal with him and encouraging him to lead. Okay, that's what a woman can do. Encourage the man to lead. Encourage him to make decisions. All that. And that is a hard thing to do. That takes true humility to do. On the same note with men, when the men have the power, like me, when I realized, okay, when I went from being a wimp to a macho boy, because I went from being here to here, and then it had to balance out in the middle of dealing with her according to wisdom, because I would lord over her and boss her around and make her do whatever I wanted to do. And then I realized, because now we've been married 10 years around there. Then I realized that no, her wants and needs matter too, and that's important too. And I can't just crush her and no, I gotta. So the way we handle stuff in here now, certain things, it's gonna be my way, period. It don't matter, and that's certain. If I told you what they were, you'd understand. It is pretty, and she understands it. Okay, it's no debate. But other things she voices her concerns about, little pet peeves she might have or whatever, we'll do it your way. That's fine. We can do that. No sweat. And so yeah, we might have an argument, but the thing gets rectified, and when the argument's over, both parties are happy with the outcome. It's not one-sided. It's not I beat you. It's what's the word? I don't know. Synergistic or something like that. But at the end, both sides are happy, and that's how it needs to be. You have sometimes you have couples where both people are strong-willed and won't back down. Okay? And a lot of those situations end in divorce and murder and somebody dying, something ugly happened, or a huge hit to credit reports and finances. You know what I'm saying? And you got people who ask that guy at your job to tell you his war story and what he went through and why he's a little crazy and on certain medications. You know what I'm saying? It's because both people were overly powerful. Now, if you're the woman and the man's overly powerful, we kind of already went through that. If you're the man and the woman's overly powerful and you overly powerful and neither one of y'all backing down, you need to, when everything calms down, be like, look, blah, 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 show her the book. You're not supposed to be barking at me like this. And I'm just letting you know that I'm going to take a break from you. I'm going to leave for a little while and, see if, let my mind get right, let you clear your mind. I'm going to take a break for you for a couple days or a couple weeks, whatever. And that's book, just take a break from her, especially, when things are heated, and the argument get too crazy. Take a break, leave them alone, and, because you and I'm not gonna get into all this, but you got different tools you could use to, win a woman into respecting you as a man and everything like that. But if it's just getting too chaotic, too insane, you need to step back from that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even if it's, hey, you get in a bad argument and you just go over your buddy's house, sleep over there that night, or like back when we used to really get into heated arguments, I just go play basketball and wouldn't be back till the sun was going down. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good tool to use when you got some of these strong-willed knucklehead sisters, like the crazy ones. You know what I'm saying? That's a good technique to use. Um, and for the woman, when the man's bullheaded, just back off from him. You know, uh, when he's overly powerful, overly dominant on you, just back off. Tell him about it when everything calms down. Um, Seek Yah, pray fast, seek the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this: when a man's overly dominant, and I'm not. When a man's overly dominant, he's being a macho boy. That can be a turnoff too. There's a balance to it. That's why I said the balance of power. But it, to a certain extent, it's better that he be overly dominant than be a pushover, because that's a turnoff. It's hard for a woman to stay into a man like that, who's just a pushover, So, but yeah, but there's a balance with it, especially for the man. When the man's in the truth, you gotta, because the way it is here now, me and my wife, we get in arguments. We'll argue a little, but it don't get insane to where it's just out of control. It's like, all right, we kind of know each other to the point where it don't get crazy. She has seen with my judgment and with the way I handle any concern of hers, because she can rest assuredly that if she expresses a concern or an issue she has, she can rest assured that it's not going to be a one-sided thing. She knows that I care about her enough to where I'm going to make sure she's happy with the decision that's made and the way we handle the situation. So with her knowing that in the back of her mind, that I'm not just trying to have my way, be selfish and get over on her or anything, that I truly care about her being happy with how whatever the situation is dealt with or handled. Her knowing that makes the arguments after everybody calms down. Okay, so what do you want to do? So situations get rectified. Ain't nobody walking around like looking crazy, looking like this. Look, let me see if I can find this. No, I can't find it. Oh, no, I got it. Here we go. Hold on. It's funny. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. Yeah, so after the argument, ain't nobody walking around looking like this for the next 2 weeks, looking all crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, they know, that. And if you're a man and you're in the truth, that's where the point you got to get to, where, if it's off, you're going to step up and check it. But at the same note, if you got a woman who doesn't stand up to you, kind of goes along, which is a biblical woman, a shamefaced, humble woman, or a woman that, you have the power over, you make sure that, because like my wife, she, for years in our marriage, she kind of still held back because of her experience. Her father wasn't in her life, and her experience with men growing up and relationships and all that stuff like that. So for years it was, kind of, she really wouldn't let go of everything, let go of all the power. But then as she saw me change and me coming into the truth and me walking and me teaching and hearing my understanding of the word and all that stuff like that, and saw how I would deal wisely with situations that would come up between us, she slowly began to relax. And I'm going to give him the power, because I know that if something's not going my way and I tell him about it, he's going to make sure that, that I'm happy with the outcome, and that, so it's not just always hammer, no, you going to do this, that, and the other. There's a time for that, because I'll be saying that up in here, but I'm not walking around King Kong up in here all the time, just sometimes, but I'm not walking around beating my chest all the time, all that stuff like that. There's a lot of talking and bargaining, going back and forth, negotiating, talking, communicating, whatever, And a lot of dudes don't got that. It's not like that with them. A lot of dudes will just cower down and stuff like that. What are you doing? Yeah, a lot of dudes will cower down and just give in to whatever's going on. And a lot of dudes will just, it's their way every time, they can't lose. You know what I'm saying? The dudes who just cower down and a woman keeps dominating over them, what eventually happens is that dude will just kind of be into himself, and then eventually he slide off, be messing with some other girl on the side, and it's a mess. I see a lot of that at my job, working on them planes. A lot of men out there, that's how they are, And then you got the other end of the spectrum where the dude just dominates the woman all the time, and the woman holds resentment, and she'll go out and cheat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it just leads to a bunch of arguments and stuff. So there's a balance to it, and a lot of it is just talking sincerely, talking about this word, and not which, because it's not always, hey, what my wife needs to be doing. It's also, and this is what I'm going to do, and I do it, and I be about it. So ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no gray areas, ain't no manipulation. It's just plain and simple, It's just plain and simple. But anyway, I hope this video was informative. My wife was coming in here, probably being nosy, trying to see what I was talking about in this video, acting like she plugging her phone in. But anyway, she said the food's ready, so I'm going to go eat. You watch Spiritual Combat, and have a nice day.